When you ask football fans who the most controversial player in modern history is, one name often comes up: Mario Balotelli. He refused to pass, purposely missed big opportunities without any reason, and often is labelled as a flop. Balotelli's career has been a rollercoaster of highs and lows, from setting off fireworks in his bathroom to scoring crucial goals on the biggest stages. Balotelli's story is one of brilliance, chaos, and unfulfilled potential. But how did he do it? Well, we need to go back to the beginning. Mario Bawuah Balotelli was born on the 12th of August 1990 in Palermo, Italy, to Ghanaian immigrants Thomas and Rose Bawuah. His early life was marked by hardship. Mario suffered from severe health issues as a child, including life-threatening intestinal complications that required multiple surgeries. His biological parents, struggling financially, made a heartbreaking decision. They gave him up. The boy would be placed in foster care when he was just 3 years old. The Balotelli family took him in Brescia, a move that would shape his identity and career. Growing up as a black child in a white community, Balotelli faced racism and discrimination from a young age. Despite these challenges, he found solace in the game of football. His talent was evident from the start, and by the time he was a teenager, he was already being scouted by some of Italy's biggest clubs. At the age of 15, he joined the youth academy of Lumezzane, a small club in northern Italy. His performances there caught the attention of Inter Milan, one of Europe's most prestigious clubs. In 2007, at the age of 17, Mario Balotelli made his senior debut for Inter Milan. Standing at 6 feet 2 inches with incredible strength, speed, and technical ability, he quickly became one of the brightest young talents in Europe. His breakthrough came in a Coppa Italia match against Reggina, where he scored twice, showcasing his potential as a future star. Balotelli's performances in Serie A and the Champions League earned him praise, but his attitude began to raise eyebrows. Balotelli's first major highlight came in the 2008 Coppa Italia. In the quarter-finals against Juventus, he announced himself to the world with a stunning performance. Balotelli scored twice, including a brilliant solo effort to help Inter secure a 3-2 victory over their fierce rivals. His composure and clinical finishing at such a young age were remarkable, and it was clear that Inter had a special talent on their hands. Balotelli's Champions League debut came later that year in a group stage match against Anorthosis Famagusta. At just 18 years old, he became one of the youngest players to feature for Inter in the Champions League. And did he score? Of course he did. The young kid was involved in all 3 goals in a 3-3 draw against Anorthosis Famagusta. He quickly became a key part of Inter's squad. It was like a dream came true for the young boy, playing with big names like Zlatan, Stankovic, Zanetti, Maicon, and Patrick Vieira. However, Balotelli's time at Inter was not without controversy. One of the most infamous incidents occurred during a league match against Juventus in 2009. After scoring a late goal to seal a 1-1 draw, Balotelli celebrated in front of the Juventus fans, who had been racially abusing him throughout the match. The celebration sparked outrage among the Juventus supporters, and objects were thrown onto the pitch. While Balotelli's actions divided opinion, they also highlighted the racism he faced throughout his career in Italy. Another controversial moment came in the Champions League during a group stage match against Rubin Kazan in 2009. After receiving his first yellow card in the first half, and all the attackers being injured, Mourinho, aware of his unpredictable nature, begged Mario, "Please don't do anything. Don't touch the opponents. Don't talk to them. Don't even breathe next to them." Despite his effort, Mario was sent off in the 60th minute for a reckless challenge and left Mourinho furious. The Portuguese manager publicly criticised Balotelli after the match, calling his behaviour unacceptable and questioning his maturity. It was a turning point in their already strained relationship. Off the pitch, Balotelli's behaviour continued to make headlines. In one particularly bizarre incident, he was photographed wearing an AC Milan shirt while still playing for Inter. The image caused outrage among Inter fans, who saw it as a betrayal. Balotelli later claimed it was a joke, but the damage was done. The incident further declined his relationship with the club and its supporters. By 2010, it was clear that Balotelli's time at Inter was nearing its end. He and Mourinho had a strained relationship, and the fans were growing tired of his approach. Despite his immense talent, Inter decided to part ways with the young striker. That summer, Balotelli made a high-profile move to Manchester City, reuniting with Roberto Mancini, the coach who had given him his debut at Inter. When Mario Balotelli arrived at Manchester City in the summer of 2010, Balotelli was expected to be a key piece in City's ambitious project to dominate English football. With his immense talent, physicality and flair, the 20-year-old Italian forward had the potential to become one of the world's best players. But as his time at City unfolded, it became clear that Balotelli's greatest enemy was himself. His selfishness, both on and off the pitch, would ultimately overshadow his moments of brilliance and contribute to the destruction of his career. However, Balotelli's Manchester City career got off to a promising start. In his debut against West Bromwich Albion in the League Cup on 22nd September 2010, he scored 2 goals, immediately showcasing his ability to change the game. Just a few months later, on December 28, 2010, he scored his first Premier League hat-trick in a 4-0 to win over Aston Villa, cementing his reputation as a player with immense potential. His performances earned him a nomination for the PFA Young Player of the Year award, and he played a crucial role in helping City win the FA Cup, their first major trophy in 35 years. Balotelli was named Man of the Match in the final against Stoke City, a testament to his ability to deliver on the big stage. However, even in his first season, Balotelli's unprofessional behaviour began to emerge. His selfishness and lack of discipline became recurring themes. In a Europa League match against Dynamo Kiev, Balotelli received a red card for a reckless challenge, leaving his team with 10 men and contributing to their elimination from the competition. His behaviour off the pitch was equally troubling. In one infamous incident, Balotelli reportedly threw darts at a youth team player, claiming he did it out of boredom. He also clashed with teammates during training sessions, including a notable altercation with Jerome Boateng. These incidents painted a picture of a player who was more interested in his own personal enjoyment than in the team's success. His performances on and off the pitch reached its peak during the 2011-12 season. In a pre-season friendly against LA Galaxy, Balotelli attempted an unnecessary backheel shot instead of scoring an easy goal, missing the target entirely. The stunt infuriated Mancini, who immediately substituted him and publicly criticised his lack of professionalism. His most iconic moment on the pitch came on October 23, 2011, in the Manchester derby at Old Trafford. Balotelli scored the opening goal in City's historic 6-1 victory over Manchester United and celebrated by lifting his shirt to reveal the now famous message, "Why always me?" The celebration became a symbol of Balotelli's career, brilliant, provocative, and self-centered. Despite his moments of brilliance, Balotelli's selfishness and behavior continued to frustrate his teammates and manager. Just 2 days before the Manchester derby, Balotelli accidentally set his house on fire by letting off fireworks in his bathroom. The incident made headlines around the world and raised questions about his focus and maturity. Balotelli's selfishness was not limited to his off-field antics. On the pitch, he often prioritized individual glory over the team's success. His refusal to pass in key moments became a source of frustration for his teammates. In one match, Balotelli ignored better-positioned teammates to take a shot himself, only to miss the target. These moments highlighted his me-first mentality, which often undermined City's collective efforts. Despite these issues, Balotelli played a crucial role in Manchester City's historic title-winning campaign. On the final day of the season, with City needing a win against QPR to secure their first Premier League title in 44 years, Balotelli provided the assist for Sergio Aguero's legendary 94th-minute goal. It was a moment of unselfishness that stood in stark contrast to the rest of his City career. The assist ensured Balotelli's place in City history, but it was one of the rare instances where he put the team ahead of himself. However, the 2012-13 season marked the beginning of the end for Balotelli at Manchester City. His performances became increasingly inconsistent, and his selfishness on the pitch reached new heights. In one match, he was seen arguing with teammates over who should take a free kick, ignoring Mancini's instructions. His refusal to play within the team's system made him a liability, and his goal-scoring output began to decline. By January 2013, Balotelli had scored just 1 Premier League goal all season. Off the pitch, Balotelli's behaviour continued to cause problems. In January 2013, he had a physical altercation with Roberto Mancini during a training session. The incident, which was widely publicised, marked a turning point in their relationship. Mancini, who had been one of Balotelli's biggest supporters, publicly admitted that he was finished with the Italian forward. After falling out with Mancini and struggling for consistency, Balotelli returned to Italy on January 2013, signing with AC Milan. It seemed like a fresh start for the troubled forward. After a chaotic spell at Manchester City, Balotelli made an explosive debut for Milan, scoring twice in a 2-1 win over Udinese. His immediate impact reignited Milan's attack, and fans at the San Siro embraced him as a hero. Over the second half of the 2012-13 season, Balotelli scored 12 goals in just 13 Serie A appearances, helping Milan secure a third-place finish and qualify for the Champions League. Balotelli's performances reminded the world of his immense talent. His partnership with players like Stefan El Shaarawy brought dynamism to Milan's attack, and his ability to score decisive goals made him a fan favourite. For a brief moment, it seemed like Balotelli had finally found the perfect environment to thrive. However, even during this period of success, Balotelli's darker tendencies persisted. His disciplinary issues, a recurring theme throughout his career, continued to surface. He picked up several yellow cards for dissent and unnecessary fouls, frustrating teammates and coaches. Off the pitch, his controversial personality and actions attracted constant media scrutiny, overshadowing his performances. From outspoken interviews to his flashy lifestyle, Balotelli's behavior kept him in the headlines for all the wrong reasons. While his time at Milan showcased his potential, it also highlighted his inability to control his emotions and focus on the team. His selfishness and lack of discipline remained obstacles, preventing him from reaching the heights his talent deserved. Balotelli's stint at Milan was a glimpse of what could have been a player capable of brilliance, but ultimately held back by his own immaturity. For Milan fans, it was thrilling yet bittersweet as Balotelli's career continued to be defined by unfulfilled potential. However, Balotelli's international career was equally dramatic. He made his debut for Italy in 2010 and quickly became a key player for the national team. At Euro 2012, Balotelli delivered one of the most memorable performances of his career. In the semi-final against Germany, he scored 2 stunning goals, including a thunderous strike that became one of the tournament's iconic moments. Italy reached the final, but they were defeated by Spain. In 2014, Balotelli was selected to represent Italy at the FIFA World Cup in Brazil. In Italy's opening match against England, Balotelli scored the winning goal, a towering header that showcased his incredible talent. However, as the tournament progressed, Italy struggled, and Balotelli became a scapegoat for their early exit. Critics accused him of being lazy and unmotivated, and his international career never fully recovered. After the World Cup, Balotelli made a surprising move to Liverpool. The €16 million transfer was seen as a gamble, and it quickly became apparent that it wouldn't work out. Balotelli scored just 1 Premier League goal during his time at Anfield, and his lack of discipline frustrated manager Brendan Rodgers. By the end of the season, he was loaned back to AC Milan, where he struggled to recapture his form. In 2016, Mario Balotelli joined OGC Nice in League One, seeking to revive his career after disappointing spells at Liverpool and AC Milan. His time at Nice began with a bang, as he scored twice on his debut in a thrilling 3-2 win against Marseille. Balotelli's immediate impact reignited hope that the once promising forward could finally fulfill his potential. Over the 2016-17 season, he scored 15 goals in 23 appearances across all competitions, his best tally in years, and played a key role in helping Nice secure a third-place finish in League One, earning Champions League qualification for the first time in decades. Balotelli's performances at Nice were seen as a career resurgence. He became a fan favourite, with supporters appreciating his passion and contributions on the pitch. For the first time in years, Balotelli showed signs of maturity, with fewer off-pitch controversies compared to earlier in his career. His improved focus and discipline, combined with his clinical finishing, made him one of League One's standout players. However, old habits die hard. Despite his resurgence, Balotelli's disciplinary issues persisted. He received 3 red cards during the 2016-17 season, reminding fans and critics alike of his volatile nature. Injuries also disrupted his momentum, causing him to miss several games and limiting his overall impact. The following season, 2017-18, marked the peak of Balotelli's time at Nice. He scored a career-best 26 goals in 38 appearances, including 18 in Ligue 1 and 6 in the Europa League. Yet, despite his brilliance, Nice struggled as a team, finishing 8th in Ligue 1 and failing to qualify for European competitions. By the 2018-19 season, Balotelli's form had declined sharply, scoring no goal in 10 appearances. A falling out with manager Patrick Vieira led to his contract being terminated in January 2019, bringing an unceremonious end to what had once been a promising chapter in his career. In 2019, Balotelli returned to Italy to play for Brescia, his hometown club. The move was seen as a homecoming, but it quickly turned sour. Brescia struggled in Serie A, and Balotelli's performances were inconsistent. He clashed with the club's management and was eventually released at the end of the season. After leaving Brescia, Balotelli signed with Monza, a Serie A B club owned by former AC Milan president Silvio Berlusconi. While he showed glimpses of his talent, it was clear that Balotelli's best days were behind him. At the moment of writing, Mario is still playing football at Genoa, but he is being injured with a broken hand. Despite his decline, Balotelli remains one of the most fascinating players in football history. His story is one of immense talent, unfulfilled potential, and a personality that divided fans and teammates alike. While some see him as a wasted talent, others view him as a player who brought excitement and unpredictability to the game. Balotelli's career is a reminder of the fine line between genius and chaos. For every moment of brilliance, there was an equally baffling moment of madness. Yet, despite all the controversies, Balotelli's impact on football is undeniable. From his iconic "Why always me" celebration to his unforgettable performances for Italy, Balotelli will always be remembered as one of the most unique players of his generation. So, what do you think? Was Mario Balotelli a misunderstood genius or a player who never lived up to his potential? Let me know in the comments below. If you want to follow the story of the day, 35-year-old Lionel Messi made an entire country shiver, check out our video here.